Welcome to today's session. I will be shedding a little light on the subject of psychology, semester 5, course code PSC 107, course title Positive Psychology. The unit name for the topic that we will be covering today is Positive Cognitive States and Processes, and the module name is Hope and Optimism, Hope Theory of Snyder. My name is Ms. Tabitha Dolores Nunes, and I am an assistant professor at Carmel College of Arts, Science and Commerce for Women. The outline for today's session, I will be sharing light on the differences between hope and optimism, and we will also discuss a very famous theory of Snyder called the hope theory. The learning outcomes. To understand the concepts of hope and optimism, to be able to differentiate between hope and optimism, and to understand the hope theory that was given by Snyder. So without further ado, let us discuss what is hope. Now, while hope is an undoubtedly personal experience, it is extremely challenging to define. The value and positive impact that hope can have on a human life is widely recognized and difficult to ignore. People often speak about hope strengthening their resolve and accompanying them even in their darkest hour, guiding them through seemingly desperate circumstances. Hope is what helps us to remain committed to our goals and motivated to take action towards achieving. Hope also gives people a reason to continue fighting and believing that their current circumstances will improve despite the unpredictable nature of human existence. According to Snyder et al. In 1991, hope is a positive cognitive state based on a sense of successful, goal-directed determination and planning to meet these goals. In other words, we can say that hope is like a snapshot of a person's current goal-directed thinking, highlighting the motivated pursuit of goals and the expectation that those goals can be achieved. While some approaches conceptualize hope in the realm of being, that is, acknowledging that hope during an illness and within palliative care, Snyder et al. Emphasized that the relevance of hope lies in the context of doing, that is, the capacity to achieve goals. According to Snyder's hope theory, hopefulness is a life-sustaining human strength comprised of three very distinct yet related concepts, which are goals, pathways, and agency. Goals thinking refers to the clear conceptualization of valuable goals. Pathways thinking is the capacity to develop specific strategies to reach those goals. Agency thinking is the ability to initiate and sustain the motivation for using those strategies. Hope does not necessarily fade in the face of adversity. In fact, hope often endures despite poverty, war, or famine. While no one is exempt from experiencing challenging life events, hope is what fosters an orientation to life that allows a grounded and an optimistic outlook, even in the most challenging of circumstances. Is hope the same as optimism? It is very true that optimism has much in common with hope. Both concepts are concerned with a positive future orientation, and both assume that good things will generally occur in one's life. The difference, however, is that optimism is a positive attitude about a future event. It's probable, it's likely to occur, and the optimist expects that life will work out well as expected. Conversely, being hopeful is regarded as more realistic. The hopeful individual recognizes that life may not work out as planned, yet he maintains a positive expectancy directed toward possible outcomes that hold a personal significance. The hope theory. Dispositional optimism focuses on positive expectations for the future that motivate goal-directed behavior. Optimism, as an explanatory style, focuses on a sense of agency in describing how people stay on course in achieving their goals by explaining bad events or setbacks in a way that preserves a positive attitude. Snyder's hope theory combines these two elements of expectation and agency in defining hope as both willpower and way power. Agency is the willpower that provides the energy and determination to persist in the pursuit of personally important goals. What Snyder also calls as pathways thinking is the way power, which he explains as confidence that routes to our desired goals can be identified, and when obstacles are encountered, alternative routes can be found. For this purpose, the Adult Hope Scale, or the AHS, was developed. Often referred to as the Trait Hope Scale or the Future Scale, the Adult Hope Scale is a 12-item measure of hope designed for individuals over 15 years of age. The scale is divided into two subscales which fit the cognitive model of hope, in which hope is a positive motivational state based on an interactively derived sense of the successful. Here there are two parts: agency thinking, which is goal-directed energy, and pathways thinking, which is planning to accomplish those goals. Of the 12 items, 4 items measure pathways thinking, 4 items measure agency thinking, and 4 items are fillers. Each item is answered using an 8-point scale ranging from 1, which is definitely false, to 8, which is definitely true. After completion of this scale, subscale scores can be examined independently or combined to create a total hope score. The higher the score, the higher the overall degree of the respondent's hope. Agency scores can range from a minimum of 4 to a maximum of 32 points, with higher numbers reflecting a higher amount of goal-directed energy. Pathway scores can range from 4 to 32 points, with higher numbers indicating a greater capability to plan and accomplish goals. The hope scale contains items assessing both agencies and pathways. Examples are mentioned here below. People rate the extent to which each item is true for them, and a summary score describes a person's degree of hope. The first, I energetically pursue my goals, which is an agency statement. The second, my past experiences have prepared me well for the future. Again, this is an agency statement. Number 3, I can think of many ways to get out of a jam. Now, this is a pathway statement. Even when others get discouraged, I know I can find a way to solve the problem. Again, a pathway statement. Hope shows substantial correlations with optimism, and hopeful people also tend to be optimistic. However, hope adds the importance of flexible thinking, problem solving ability, and self motivation to an understanding of the coping benefits of optimism. Hopeful people, compared to those who are less hopeful, are more skilled in generating alternative means for achieving goals when they encounter roadblocks to their original plans. Hopeful people are also better problem solvers. They are more likely to use positive self talk, like I can do this, I can try harder, to maintain their motivation when they are faced with obstacles. Hopeful people focus on what needs to be done rather than ruminating about what went wrong. Hope shows patterns similar to optimism, but in its relationship, it is closer to adjustment, to achievement, and to health. Hope is more than just a state of mind. It is an action oriented strength. In the absence of this inner resource, how can we find the motivation to pursue our goals and the resilience to pick ourselves up when things go wrong? Many people persevere with the idea that hope is an either or a proposition, believing that in order to have hope, all despair has to be extinguished. While it is true that hope comes and goes, and there are times where we feel like all hope is diminished, there is always a light at the end of the tunnel. The references for today's session: Baumgardner, S.R. Crothers, MK 2015, textbook is Positive Psychology, Indian Subcontinent Adaptation, Dorling Kindersley India Private Limited, Pearson Education, and the link to the other information is mentioned below. Thank you.